Does anyone know if the practice range that's selectable not now but to later release in December is that their version of a training simulator?
I reckon
Yeah.
it would be.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll have planes on it too.
Because
I can fly more
I'm thinking to
planes into
myself.
things.
I mean, I was originally confused as to why they didn't originally have it unlocked, but if it does have a flight simulator, I think I'll probably be spending a bit of time in there just to even make use of them.
The
Also,
other thing
why
is,
isn't it unlocked until
I don't-
December?
Well, I don't get the whole staggered release thing as a whole. Clearly, a lot more of this content is already ready or pretty bloody close. It's like
A month away before we can learn how to use the shit.
Yeah,
They have
I mean, I can understand
Why?
just for the sake of saying, "Oh, learn while you play." Yeah, there's fun in that, but I mean, there's some mechanics I would like to learn without embarrassing myself in the real
like
game.
a plane.
but
Yeah, like a plane.
we all.
Because I don't want to fly into a mountain.
This is probably a weird way to do it, but maybe install Battlefield 1
yeah.
Probably not a bad idea, I
and
suppose.
just go into one of the empty servers
And what? A plane map and just dogfight each other.
and just practice flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'll eventually be able to do that in this one as well. It's just that right now the the server availability is so low that you're not going to find an empty server to be able to do that in.
Yeah.
Not
Whereas
yet.
on Battlefield 1, you'll be able to do that right now.
So
Actually,
what
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
is Tides of War?
That's their like continual persistent gameplay thing of they'll have different rotations and stuff each week, I gather.
We had a Tides of War in the beta. That's where we got the beta badge from. We had
Yeah, so it's just like a bunch of challenges.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a week long
Yeah.
theme or something is my understanding.
I'm down to do that.
Well, as we've seen, there's 3 different playlists active right now: Conquest, Grand Campaign, and Infantry Focus. I can't remember exactly how they termed it now, but I gather Tides of War will also change which playlists are available each week.
It's
In
also
order
really
to-
going to confuse us when we're talking about shit, because it sounds like it should be something from WoW.
True.
Yeah.
Eh. It's Tides of Vengeance. Now it's a completely different thing. What are you on about?
Actually, I gotta admit, the question I got for people is we've now had a chance to experience the base game mode of Conquest on a few other maps, but also had a bit more of a touch on some of the other game modes that are in this, except for Nick, who was late and only got to play Conquest. What's everybody's thoughts on them so far? I got to admit, personally, I thought Frontlines was actually really quite good. I wasn't expecting quite such an intense, focused game mode out of Battlefield.
What's Frontlines again? That's capture a point and
That
then
that
destroy
that was
3
the single
objectives.
point. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the single point, and then
The
switch to
control
the other.
one.
Yeah.
If we hadn't been fighting them with where they had the increased vehicles respawns, that would have been fantastic. I didn't like the fact that it gave them an advantage because they won a map.
Well,
Whereas
they're
when
supposed
we
to
won a
win.
map,
But that was because of the Grand Campaign thing.
yeah, when we won a map, we didn't get a bonus, but when they won a map, they got a bonus. It's just
Yeah.
That map is it follows the law, which law of the world. The allies got absolutely destroyed in that battle. They were absolutely
oh yeah,
destroyed.
it was the friendship. Yeah, but we spent an hour on a game for them to just have an advantage.
To be fair, it was a close win.
It was, but yeah, it was just
But yeah, it was a bit, sad. But I mean, I got 2 to 3 levels out of it, so it wasn't worthless, I guess.
How did everyone's levels end up at the end? I think I'm level 7.
I think I'm 7 as well.
I don't remember. I know I'm at least level 4, because that's the last level I remember seeing, because I complained about seeing it pop up on my screen so many times. I think Anton's just gone to check.
I mean, Anton spent most of the time recon. I don't think he got a lot of points.
no.
How rude.
What about you, Luke? Because I do remember you having concerns back in the beta about the game mode spread. So, having now experienced a Grand Campaign that took us through 3 different game modes, and a few more rounds of Conquest on a few different maps. How are you feeling?
Oh, I think the diversity is quite good, to be honest. Originally, when we started off, obviously the beta had very limited gameplay options and didn't go through the entire Grand Conquest. But yeah, honestly, I actually found it quite refreshing to see that after we did the first two of that Grand Conquest that we did actually do before Nick arrived, that the third map was basically like a whole fresh new location. I thought it was quite vibrant that they actually added so much diversity into it. And
Actually, that's a
playing
good
with,
point.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is
And
Narvik gonna have a day 3?
Yeah, I suspect that that's how they're all done, because if you notice each of the maps is paired, it's two maps on the same, meant to be part of the same location, so maybe that's
Or
the
similar.
entire intention.
Because
Because,
if
like,
you look at Fjall, you look off the side of the mountain, you can see the Bay of Narvik, or the
But-
port.
but that's the thing, it's meant to be, that's meant to be the second Norway one, and, like, Rotterdam is meant to lead into Devastation, which is actually outright
Devastation.
stated as the ruins of Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And the other two that we haven't gotten to play at all yet are the two North African ones. So maybe all of them, maybe there are just 4 grand campaigns now, and they're all like phased across the 2 maps of that.
I
Yeah.
am keen to try another grand campaign. As much as I would like to see how Narvik goes, I don't want to do Narvik. I'd like to do the other two, if there are other two.
oh yeah, I agree with you there. I'd like to experience all of them before we go back and just start doing the Narvik again. But in saying that as well, I'd also like to see where the third map takes us.
Still not a fan of the 4-man squad limit.
Oh,
Because, I would like to just be able to quick search Conquest or a Grand Operation without going advanced search, and we all do different parties.
I would
Yeah.
like it to be partied group up to as like 16 or 8, but squad groups at 4. I'm happy for squads to stay at 4, but
Yeah,
parties,
sort of
I'd like a party search feature.
a raid sort of search function. Like you've got your groups within your raids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, certainly been nothing wrong with that. And
Take
I
a
think
leaf out of WoW's book, please, Blizzard. Wait, what? EA?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but the one that threw me off a bit is that they've actually got a 10-player mode listed in the search.
Yeah, that's the... What do you call it? The infantry
Infantry.
focus.
No, but normally it's still on multiples of 4. 10 is 5v5.
A squad nerd.
So it's weird that that's actually in there. Like I understand an 8-person and a 16-person because that's 4v4 and 8v8, which fits into the existing squad system. But weird that there's a 5v5 in there.
Oh, I can only see 32 and 64, to be honest.
No, those are the only ones active, but if you go into all the advanced filters on the advanced search, you can actually see all the ones that currently don't have anything attached to them.
yeah, I do remember you mentioning something about that a little while ago. But yeah, at the moment their current team system's not going to allow for that. I'm not sure how they're going to handle it.
What I want to see eventually is a larger map with 64 versus 64 game mode.
That
Well,
would be a
We'll get
lot.
they've already basically said that that's not happening in Battlefield because Battlefield's locked in pretty hard. They're just 32v32.
Bad.
The closest you'll get to that is the bloody Battle Royale mode that's meant to be coming out early next year.
Oh, can't
And
wait for
that's a bit
that.
unfortunate because I do enjoy large-scale warfare.
That's okay. You could be like
Calm
all
down,
the other
Halo.
people who, cancel their pre-orders because they said, oh, Battle Royals are coming out till next March. Guess I'm waiting till March.
Yeah.
Time to bitch and complain because we want Battle Royale. Go play Fortnite. Fuck off.
I mean, there's so many other options.
Or PUBG. Or Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of people like that.
I gotta admit, yeah, we don't need to get into a shit-stirring contest of why Black Ops is not as well. Wasn't fun, but yeah, I don't understand that one.
He may never do.
But yeah, no. In my opinion, I think I'm actually quite pleased that I bought Battlefield 5. I think it's going to be quite a lot of fun. And the variety they've added to it, I think, is just going to make it even better. I'm looking forward to playing the next four or so maps that we can experience again outside of beta.
I just really wish they hadn't done this staggered release.
Yeah, the staggered release thing is painful because not only is it clearly choking the servers a little bit, but we clearly not got all the game. Most of the game modes are clearly not in the game yet. They've already outright announced that the 9th map isn't going to be available until December.
The 9th map's not going to be linked to anything, though.
Yeah, it's also a standalone. It's not one of a pair, and I suspect that's actually a case of whatever the pair for it was got scrapped, because I do remember them saying that there was going to be 10. So I suspect that whatever the 10th map was scrapped, and that's why they decided to release the 9th later.
What's the 9th map? We could probably Google it and find out what its pair was supposed to be. They're all based off historical shit.
The 9th one's called Panzer Storm. I can't remember what the location for it was.
Battlefield 5. Panzer Storm.
Yeah. It's also... It feels weird having so many of the game modes missing out of the game right now, but again, it's a staggered release and it's still 10 days until the full release is meant to happen, let alone before this drip feed of the staggered out content that they've got.
Oh. Apparently there is 10 slots for vehicles per team in Panzer Storm. That's nice.
Yeah, I do remember there being a vehicle-heavy one.
Yeah,
7 for
Panzer
land
Storm's meant to be the
vehicles.
super vehicle-heavy one.
And 3 for planes, with 3 additionals for reinforcements.
The other one was if you go in under any of the vehicles in game at the moment, all of the customizations grayed out saying coming soon.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
All of that's attached to when Panzer Storm is released, so it's like, guys.
Makes sense.
I see the game sizes you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Is
There's some
10
interesting game sizes.
Is 10 the only one that's weird?
10's the only one that's not a multiple of 4, if I remember.
Yeah, it says 10, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 64.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe they're looking at doing a 10 instead of a 4v4, so 5v5, but that's weird, in my opinion. Unless they're intending to do a free-for-all mode.
That's what I was going to say. That could line up with that, because that's enough people to make it competitive.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they're just trying to screw some people. Like, when we queued as a 3, we only had 3 people on our squad.
Yeah, but that's also because we all had our squads set to friends only.
Oh, did we? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's actually a setting you can change.
Wouldn't that screw other people over then, if they just come in by themselves and, we kick someone out and they're just on a solo squad?
In theory, yeah, you'll end up with solo people. In practice, though, there's always going to be at least one squad that's not full.
That's a bit sad.
Okay, Mark, it's war. It's meant to be sad.
Alright, well, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Nothing in particular.
Feel that with the new graphics driver, the game has actually gotten some improvements. Because I was playing medium graphics, and I was able to run the game just fine. And I was playing on low during the beta.
Yeah.
I'm still playing on low. Mind you, the game still looks pretty damn good on low. So, that's alright.
I suspect that I could actually run high if I really wanted to.
Do it.
What about you, Nick? Any final thoughts?
Probably need to play some more first.
Well, I
Fair
take
enough.
it the settings menu looks good.
I haven't actually had a proper play around in that. The only thing I've changed in the settings menu so far is toggle crouch.
Oh god, yeah, found that button as quick as I fucking could.
Yeah, the toggle crouch and toggle zoom, those were just, where the hell is this?
I
You need
haven't
to turn that
actually
on.
haven't actually gone with toggle zoom yet because I've actually been getting used to looking down the sights, and with the bolt action rifle, you generally can't just sit down the sights because otherwise you don't reload.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that irritates me. You have to shoot and then click it again to automatically unscope
Yeah, it's
and reload.
that's why at the moment toggles work. Just hold is working better.
Yeah.
Use with toggling?
No. Yeah,
I was just
actually,
right clicking.
That's toggling.
No, that you hold right click and then you let go and it unzooms.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
How is that weird? How is that not better than toggling? Toggling, you're
It's-
fucking stuck. You gotta quickly untoggle.
Depends on the gun.
You don't untoggle. You just zoom, shoot, left click again. It'll automatically unzoom, reload, and then rezoom.
Yeah, I prefer the way Mark plays it.
You guys are weird.
Must be the reason why the three of us are on a team.
Yeah,
We're on
clearly
a similar wavelength.
inferior. Why I was the Germans more than anything else.
For the glory. Alright,
Oh.
well,
Oh, oops. Oh,
Graham,
shit.
what about you? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, it still feels like a Battlefield game, which is an obvious thing
A good thing.
to me. Yeah, I haven't tweaked it too much. Yeah, it's just. I think I'm waiting to see how it's going to go with the new, with the whole battle royale thing. It's probably the most interesting thing to me because I've played most of the recent Battlefield games, but yeah,
Yeah, that's still a little while away though.
yeah, that's probably the most interesting thing to me on the horizon. But yeah, but that feels good. Feels like a Battlefield game. The maps are kind of cool and interesting, and hopefully the war stories are too.
Well, the first one's pretty good. What you would expect from a first chapter. It exists. It has some plot.
It exists. This is a thing that exists.
This is a thing that exists, and it's not that bad.
I'm
You
not.
should do it.
I'm probably not holding up as much hope as I did for Battlefield 1 with the runner, because that was just such a touching thing to an Aussie who's heard about the Anzacs since you grow up. So yeah,
Well, I haven't played the campaign for Battlefield 1, but I'll get around to it. I've made that promise in the other recording I did.
yeah, yeah, definitely recommend
So-
that one.
Sign us off if you want, Cam.
Yep.
I think we're
Alright.
done.
That's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
Oh god. If anybody actually did watch the end of the video,
And
Please.
that's
For
why we
you
don't have any
viewers of Idaho.
subscribers.